In an age of information overload, do you ever feel like your best ideas fade away? That the brilliant insights from articles and books are forgotten, and that your digital world is a mess of files and notes? What if you could create a system, a second brain, that not only remembers everything important, but also connects ideas in novel ways and fuels your creativity? This is the transformative promise of Tiago Forte's Building a Second Brain. This video will guide you through the essential steps for creating your own digital knowledge repository, offering practical implementation strategies for turning information into tangible results. Prepare to go from being a passive consumer of information to an active architect of your knowledge, discovering a more organized, productive, and creative version of yourself. Chapter 1. Where it all began. Forte introduces the concept of a second brain through his personal struggle with a mysterious illness that caused chronic fatigue and memory loss. Faced with these cognitive challenges, he began to externalize his thinking, creating a digital system to record his research, ideas, and learning. This external system not only helped him manage his health, but also became the basis for a powerful productivity methodology. He realized that our biological brain is designed to generate ideas, not retain them. By delegating the task of remembering them to a digital system, we free our minds to do what they do best: create, innovate, and solve problems. This chapter invites us to reflect on the limitations of our biological brain in storing large amounts of information and embrace the idea of creating an external digital system to act as your second brain. Chapter 2. What is a second brain? A second brain is a reliable digital repository of your most important knowledge and ideas. It is a personal knowledge management system that you build for yourself, tailored to your unique goals and interests. Forte emphasizes that it is not about creating a perfect encyclopedic archive of everything you have ever learned. Instead, it's a living, dynamic extension of your mind, a place to cultivate your thoughts and turn them into action. Think of it as a combination notebook, sketchbook, personal library, and idea lab. For example, a designer might use their second brain to store inspiring images, code snippets, and client meeting notes, all in one centralized location. This chapter invites us to implement a primary digital note-taking app to serve as the hub of your second brain, a place to consolidate your ideas, notes, and resources. Chapter 3. Selecting what resonates with you and capturing it. The first step in building a second brain is capturing the information that resonates with you. This is a selective process. Instead of trying to store everything, focus on what sparks your curiosity, inspires you, or is useful for your current projects and future goals. Act like a museum curator by carefully selecting the most valuable pieces for your collection. The author tells the story of a writer who, instead of trying to remember every detail of her research, captures only the quotes, anecdotes, and statistics that truly stand out to her. This curated collection becomes the basis for her articles and books. What do you think this chapter invites us to do? Consider developing the habit of compiling relevant information from articles, books, podcasts, and your own reflections, focusing on what inspires you or is personally relevant. Chapter 4. Organize and save for action. Once you've gathered your information, the next step is to organize it for action. Forte presents his signature PARA method, which stands for projects, areas, resources, and archives. This system is designed to be simple and intuitive, organizing your notes based on their action. Projects. These are short-term efforts you're actively working on, such as finish the third quarter report or plan a vacation to Japan. Areas. These are long-term responsibilities without a deadline, such as health, finance, or personal growth. Resources. This is a catch-all category for topics of ongoing interest that are tied to a specific project or area, such as digital marketing trends or gardening tips. Archives. This is where completed projects and inactive items from the other three categories are moved. For example, a freelancer would organize client work into projects, general business management into areas, interesting articles about their industry into resources, and completed projects into archives. Based on these ideas, what are you waiting for to structure your digital notes app using the PARA method and get organized for action? Chapter 5. Distill. Finding the essence. The goal of a second brain isn't just to store information, but to make it useful. The distill step is to find the essence of your notes. Forte recommends a technique called progressive summarization. When you first save a note, you can bold the most important sentences. The next time you review it, you can highlight key phrases within those sections in bold. Finally, you can write a one-sentence summary at the beginning. This layered approach allows you to quickly grasp the main message of a note without having to reread it completely. For example, a student could use this method to summarize their lecture notes, which would make reviewing for an exam much easier. Take advantage of the ideas in this chapter and practice progressive summarization by bolding, highlighting, and summarizing your notes to make them more concise and easier to understand at a glance. Chapter 6. Express your work. The final and most crucial step is express. The ultimate goal of developing a second brain is to use the knowledge you have acquired to create something new. Whether it's a work report, a blog post, a work of art, or the solution to a personal problem. Your second brain becomes a powerful tool for creative output. By having a well-organized and curated collection of ideas, you never start from scratch. Forte shares the example of a chef who uses his second brain, packed with recipes, flavor combinations, and culinary techniques, to experiment and create new dishes for his restaurant. Isn't it amazing what the method offers? Consider the benefits of actively using the notes and ideas you've collected in your second brain to produce tangible results, whether for personal or professional projects. Chapter 7. The Art of Creative Execution. This chapter delves into how a second brain facilitates the creative process. Forte explains that creativity is not a mystical phenomenon, but rather a process of connecting existing ideas in new ways. Your second brain acts as a creative ecosystem where these connections are facilitated. He introduces the concept of intermediate packages, the small, reusable building blocks that construct your work, such as a collection of quotes, a mind map, or a summary article. By creating and combining these packages, you can develop larger projects more efficiently and with less stress. As expressed in each chapter, what you should do is focus on creating and combining intermediate packages of knowledge from your second brain to streamline your creative process and facilitate starting and completing projects. Chapter 8. The Path to Self-Expression. Building a second brain is ultimately a journey of self-discovery and self-expression. As you curate and cultivate your knowledge, you begin to see patterns in your interests and develop a clearer understanding of your unique perspective. Your second brain becomes a mirror that reflects your intellectual and creative journey. The author encourages readers to showcase their work, sharing their ideas and creations with others. This not only helps consolidate your own understanding, but also contributes to the collective knowledge of your community. With these ideas, you could leverage your second brain as a tool for personal growth and self-expression. Sharing your knowledge and creations with others to refine your thinking and contribute. In conclusion, the path of building a second brain is more than simply adopting a new productivity system. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with information. In a world that constantly bombards us with data, you have the power to become the guardian of your own knowledge, the architect of your own creativity. By capturing what resonates, organizing for action, distilling for clarity, and expressing your unique voice, you're not just creating a digital archive, but a better version of yourself. The path to unleashing your full potential is not about having a better memory, but about building a better system. The tools and techniques are within your reach. It's time to start building. Harness the power of your second brain and begin your transformation from passive consumer to powerful creator. Your future self will thank you. If this video caught your attention, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on similar knowledge.